This is how the one-bar enclosure is received from our cabinet supplier. Very carefully wrapped, beautifully painted in a matte black finish. The box is made of half-inch MDF, which is acoustically very advantageous for loudspeakers. One bar has 16 loudspeakers, each one 2.25 inches in diameter, and they're long throw devices. This is one of many that we will fill this enclosure. The speakers are isolated in pairs, so there's an internal wall between every pair of speakers, and that allows us to have an acoustical loading with a passive radiator. So each pair of two is isolated. There's walls here, 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 etc. This is a passive radiator. It would fit in to this chamber and would be creating the acoustic tuning for these two speakers. And we have 8 sets like that. This is a grill that just protects the passive radiator and does not interfere with its performance. We designed this loudspeaker ourselves and buy them by the thousands from a very high quality supplier. It's a 2.25 inches square on the outer frame, 1.75 inches in its moving diameter. It has a very long throw for a speaker of this size. It has a linear throw of plus and minus 3 millimeters. It's driven by a large chunk of neodymium magnet material, which is why we can get so much acoustical power in such a small unit. The passive radiator, one passive radiator plus 2 speakers, is acoustically tuned to give us flat response and high power all the way down to the 80 hertz crossover point, where most standard subwoofers and standard surround sound decoders separate the 0.1 channel from the 5.1 or 7.1 channels. So very few sound bars with so many small speakers can go that low in frequency. But the critical tuning of 2 of these speakers plus 1 passive radiator allows one bar to do it extremely well. Each speaker is driven by a 30-watt amplifier. That's 30 watts at less than 0.1% distortion and flat within its entire band. So the total amount of power available to the speakers on a dynamic basis is 480 watts. Much more than any sound bar that we're aware of, and driven more intelligently, so that all of the speakers are all of the channels simultaneously. In other words, if there is a loud drum beat or car crash sound or explosion or bass note in any one channel, all 16 speakers are reproducing that sound. So not only do we have 16 speakers and 480 watts of power, but they are all contributing to all the channels simultaneously. So we get more out of each speaker than a conventional design with separate left channel, right channel, center channel, etc.